Hello and welcome to Lead with Love, my channel. Today I wanted to talk about love spells. I know love spells are like, ugh, but people do them. People do them because they want to trap people. They want to take your will away. But there are consequences to love spells. So I wanted to talk about I have three articles. I'm going to put them in the description box so you can always go back to the articles in the description box. You click on the article. It's a URL, it's a website. You just click on it, it'll go straight in to the article. But what I'm going to do on this channel is talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it. The first article I have is 6 ways a love spell can go terribly wrong. And the second article I have is from Detroit Academy of Arts and Sciences, why your love spells aren't working. And then the third one is from Cura. I might do Cura first because Cura is an app. Adults use this app. Adults use this app and they ask questions on this app. So they ask a question and random people answer. So that's what Cura is. You can always download the app. You can ask a question and random people will answer your question. You will get an answer to your question. And then with Cura, someone asked, how do love spells backfire? And the person that answered, her name is Mama Ann. She's the founder of Mama Ann's Love Spells. Updated March 9th of 2021. And I'm going to just go straight in. There are many ways a love spell can backfire. This is the reason why it is very important to seek professional advice on spells like these, love spells. First of all, you need to be very sure about your intentions because the universe has a way of giving you back threefold the negative energy that you use to cast a spell on one. So you can't have negative intentions towards a person. If you're trying to make someone love you and you have negative intentions, it's going to come back to you. And it's going to come back to you even worse than how you put it out there. And if your intentions are pure, love spells can do magic to your love life. And if your intentions are bad, you may end up hurting yourself in ways you can't even imagine. It's bad. Like when it backfires, the person ends up hating you forever. Apart from the intentions, there are other factors as well which may make a love spell backfire. For example, casting the spell on a wrong day. So moon cycles are important, like the cycles. When is a moon cycle? Full moon, new moon, waning moon, weaning moon. Like you have to know what you're doing. A lot of people don't know. They just do it to do it, and they don't know what they're doing. You have to pay attention to these kind of details. Here are the most common ways I have seen a love spell to backfire. So when you're casting a spell on someone specific, you are interfering with their will to love. That means that you're taking a person's will away. And this can create a problem in a later stage. Like later in life, it can create a problem. You can get someone to love you, but then you'll start regretting it later if they make you their obsession. Like the person will start to get obsessed with you. I have seen many amateur spellcasters making mistakes and dealing with this end result. Sometimes these spells can cloud one's judgment and make them take some irrational steps out of nowhere. Like you just start acting crazy. Stalking, obsessing. It gets like that. When it backfires, you start stalking the person, obsessing over the person, thinking of the person all the time. Why? Because you done did the love spell and it backfired on you. Number 2, sometimes you end up casting a spell on someone who's already been in love with you but never been able to tell you. In these cases, spells might be unnecessary and the person can feel overwhelmed. Like they'll feel overwhelmed with all these emotions because they already love you, and then you're putting a love spell on them for them to love you more, and it could be too much. And the third, love spells are designed to attract a specific person They often backfire if the target learns of the manipulation. Like once you know that someone is trying to do a love spell on you, it's gonna backfire. Once you know about it, it backfires automatically. This is the worst case scenario, and the person you wanted in the first place ends up hating you. At last, all I can say is oops, love spells don't always backfire. You need professional assistance for casting such spells. So this one was the Cura. Love spells backfire, and then the people hate you in the end for casting a spell on them. It's like, they could love you already, and then why would you cast a spell on them? Like, makes no sense. But people, when they're doing any kind of spells, because love spells are black magic, when you're doing a love spell, it is black magic. So, you got to deal with the consequences. So now I'm on the second article. Why your love spells aren't working. Love is a great thing, but mastering it may be a difficult task. Whatever you do, the person you're attracted to doesn't reciprocate. We have something in store for individuals who wish to take a massive step in their love lives. Love spells have been increasingly popular in recent years, especially with young people. These young people don't know what the hell they're doing, and they want to put a love spell on someone to get them to love them, and then the person ends up, they just make a mess of their lives. Love spells are complicated magic rituals that require a fundamental level of understanding before you can cast a simple spell at home. A professional spellcaster is your best bet if you have no prior knowledge in this domain. With the help of the service, you don't want to do a love spell and then you go get a professional, and the professional doesn't know what they're doing either. What causes spells to fail in some cases? If you used spells previously, you've probably experienced moments when a spell didn't function or didn't work the way you wanted or expected it to. This might be aggravating, and you might be wondering where you went wrong. There are a variety of reasons why a spell might not work, and the following are some of the elements that will influence whether a spell succeeds or fails. So they talk about it. Let me just read, because it's like it says it, then it has like a paragraph and a whole bunch of stuff. So, and then here's some points why it won't work. It could be the spellcaster's knowledge and expertise. That means that they don't know what they're doing. Whoever you contacted to do the spell for you doesn't know what they're doing. Utilize the appropriate spell. You could be doing the wrong spell. You could be doing the wrong thing and you don't know what you're doing. Choosing the appropriate spell strength. How strong do you want it to be? Having materials and equipment, be using the wrong things to do a spell. Power generated by the magic user. That means the practitioner's knowledge or expertise on the love spells. And the universe's desire. This is a lot. Like, holy shit. When you're cursed. I'm going to read that one. When you're cursed. If you're cursed, a genuine magic spell might not be able to help you. Real spellcasters like Maxim will warn you about the procedure before conducting it, whereas a fraud will not. Most practitioners are not going to tell you if they are able to do the spell or if they're not able to, because they want your money. They want your money. So they're going to do whatever, they're going to say whatever so that they can take your money. A con artist will not inform you that your curse functions as a barrier, preventing magic from interfering with your karma or destiny. As a result, the genuine magic spell he intends to cast will be ineffective. So that means if you are cursed, you have karma, bad karma, and the result the magic is not going to work. And they're going to take your money. The practitioner is going to take your money, but they're not going to tell you that the spell that you just paid for is not going to work. They know it's not going to work, but they're not going to tell you. They're going to take your money and do the spell anyway, and it's not going to work. Real black magic spellcasters, because love spells are black magic. So it's saying real black magic spellcasters use their curses, bad energies, to manipulate individuals, making the hex even greater, because that's what a love spell is. It's a hex. A ritual imbued positively will be employed if you approach a white magic spellcaster. Curses are damaged or destroyed by positive energy, which is why they do everything they can to push it away, which means it won't assist you either. This is why before using any real spells, you should have your magic caster evaluate your subdued bodies and, if necessary, request a charm to cleanse them. This talks about fake and scam spellcasters. There's so many of those. No proof or expertise, bizarre honors, and news clippings. Bottom line. Well, that's all there's to know about most spells that fail, and some insight on how to fix them. If your desire to find love is strong, ensure that the spellcaster for love matches your energy. We hope that you will choose wisely. I always say that, choose wisely. Now that you understand the importance of hiring legitimate spellcasters. If you're seeking love spellcasters or spellcaster to get your ex back, then spellcaster blank can do the job. He will be able to assist you in obtaining what you desire, and unlike most other spellcasters, he will not lie to you. So many spellcasters lie because they want your money. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about what. They don't care. They just want your money. So, the universe desire. Let's see that. Many folks are curious about how long it takes for a spell to work after it has been cast. The universe, in this case, has the final say. It could take several days or a few months for the spells to work. The universe will determine this. Even if you've done the spell correctly, the cosmos may not always grant your wish. So even if you do the spell, it might not work for you. That could be a reason why it's not working, because the universe is not going to grant the spell. You can't do spells on certain people. Certain people are powerful and they are protected. They are royal, and you can't do love spells on them. You just curse yourself trying, But people try. They don't believe that you're protected. So let them try. Let them curse themselves. Oh, choosing the appropriate spell strength. Fake practitioners do not have the knowledge or expertise to make powerful spells. Also, they will lie through their teeth to lure in customers. They will lie to you. So you don't, in a case where you approach a wrong practitioner claiming to be a powerful voodoo spellcaster, any spell from a person of that caliber is bound to fail on all angles. So, a lot of spellcasters, they just lie to utilize the appropriate spell, because most spellcasters will use the wrong spell. Make sure you use the correct spell when you wish to cast a spell, or it won't work at all. Remember that you can't count on magic spell to do everything. No matter how hard you try, if you choose the wrong spell or ask too many questions about the appropriate spell, it will not work. So if you want to do the spell and asking too many questions, it won't work. It's like, how can asking too many questions won't make it work? Remember, some charms may work exceptionally well for you whenever it relates to spell casting, while others may discover that a particular spell performs better for their demand. A mix of spells, so that's doing more than one spell. Mixing spells to acquire a particular result. This is crazy. the spellcaster's knowledge and expertise. Most of the time, the spells don't work is because of who you're getting to do the spell for you. Because not all spellcasters are real spellcasters, they are frauds, they are scams. And when you cast a spell, it ends up ruining your life. You end up obsessed and you end up stalking the person. And it gets crazy. It can go up to kidnapping and it can get bad. But I'm going to go into the third article. The third article is the last article. It's 6 ways a love spell can go terribly wrong. 30 minutes in. Oh my God. This one is written by T and Rosemary, November 4th, 2020. That's when it was written. Love spells are super popular in witchcraft. Who doesn't love a love spell? Even though they're lots of fun, love spells are also really tricky, and they're hard to cast well and can backfire easily. As much as you might picture your ideal outcome when you're considering a love spell, there are lots of ways a love spell can go wrong that you should consider equally. Wow. So 6, it has 6 points, so it's going to go 6 to 1. So the 6 point, it doesn't work. First of all, let's see. Sign me up. I have to. Okay. Let's see. Okay, first of all, yes, your love spell might straight up not work. This can happen for a variety of reasons. You might not be able to raise enough energy because everything is energy. Energy is everything. You have to have some sort of power. Not everyone has power. They just talk the talk, but they don't know what they're doing. You might not be able to raise enough energy to successfully cast a love spell, or you might just be working with a bad spell. Another reason your spell might fail is if your intention is wrong. For example, you might think you're casting a love spell, but you're projecting anger. When you raise your energy, the spell turns into a hex. So it's basically, whenever you're doing any kind of spells, you're not supposed to be angry. Like, you're not supposed to be angry. You're supposed to be working out of love. Everything is supposed to be out of love and light. You have to have good intentions. You have to be positive. You have to be happy. You have to be in a good mood. Your vibes have to be high. You cannot have low vibes. You can't be angry. You can't be jealous. You can't be mad. Those are low vibes. You got to raise your vibration in order to do any kind of spell for it to work successfully. The spell might then cause your intended to have trouble in the future, relationships, or to be unable to find a love partner. So it's like it curses you. These are the only few examples of the way the love spell might manifest. But the point is that you haven't really cast a love spell if your intention wasn't love. You have to vibe high and you have to be good. You have to have good intentions. Like, if your intentions are wrong, it's not going to work. You create obsession, not love. Remember in Harry Potter when J.K. Rowling explains that love spells can really create love, so they can't really create love. They create obsession. She can't definitely took that bit of knowledge from traditional witchcraft. As popular as love spells are, they just can't create love if it doesn't already exist. So you have to love the person for you to do any kind of love spell on a person. That person has to love you a little bit. If they don't love you, that is not going to work. If someone does not love you, then you can manifest that love to grow. But if absolutely no love exists, then it can't be created. If you cast a strong love spell on someone who doesn't love you, the spell will probably manifest an obsession. Your intended might become totally obsessed with you without knowing why. But even if you enter into a relationship it won't ever feel like true love. If love spells backfire in this way, they can end up feeling more like hexes or jinxes rather than true love spells. That sucks. 4. You manifest love, but you aren't sure if it's real, so you start doubting it. You start doubting if the person really loves you because you know you just did a love spell on them, so you don't think they love you. You think it's only because of your love spell. If your intended already loves you, then there is a possibility for a love spell to work because there's love there. You could start to see, they could start to see you in a better light and notice your positive qualities. The love can then grow naturally with the assistance of the spell's energy. The problem with that is that you might not know if it's real. As long as your spell is cast, you'll always feel as though that relationship isn't legit. This is a common issue with successfully cast love spells. That means when you do the love spell on it and it works, you think that it's not working, or you think the love isn't the genuine love. You think it's the spell. Even if you think you won't have this problem, think carefully before you cast it. Number 3, the love spell creates a cord. Sometimes your love spell doesn't create love or obsession. Instead, you create a cord that ties you to your intended. That's like bonding or binding a person to you. Your intended might want to move on or meet other people, but it's tied to you so they can't move on. You will probably also be tied. Sometimes this will mean that you work things out and get back together. That sounds great. Not so fast. You both feel like you're together out of obligation, not out of desire. You feel like you have to be together. These are types of relationships where both people absolutely hate each other but stay together anyways. For either person to move on, you need to break the cord between you and the object of your spell. So that's cutting the cord, cutting the love spell, like breaking all ties with the person. Number 2, it exposes qualities of the spell's object. It exposes qualities of the spell's. Let's see what that means. I don't know what that means. Let's say your love spell works perfectly. Your lover wants to be with you and give you the ultimate commitment. All of a sudden, however, you start noticing things about your partner that you didn't see, and those are not good qualities. It's pretty common for a witch to cast a love spell on someone they think they want to be with, only to find out when it works that they don't that they don't want to be with the person. Unfortunately, love spells are really hard to reverse. Sometimes you just can't reverse it completely. Before you cast a love spell, you need to be completely positive that your intended is the person for you. Number 1, your partner finds out about it. If everything does go according to plan and you ride off into the sunset, there's still one glaring issue. Will you ever tell your partner about the love spell that you cast? In so many ways, a love spell zaps the free will of the intended. You basically decided what your partner would feel and acted on it. So you took their will away. You took their will to make decisions. So even if your partner did already love you, instead of letting it grow naturally, you coerce their love to grow. And if they didn't love you and you created obsession or cord, then this is an even more volatile situation. I'm not telling you to never cast a love spell. There are plenty of love spells that don't force the other person to do anything. There are self-love spells, for you to love yourself, care for yourself. Love spells to enhance your own attractiveness, for you to just love yourself. Love spells for rose-colored glasses. Rose-colored glasses, those are glamour spells. Regardless of what others tell you, always follow your own intuition when you're struggling to know if you should cast a spell. Try divination, tarot, a pendulum to figure out if a spell is right for you, and follow your gut. That's your intuition. Follow your intuition. So that is it. Those are the 3 articles that I used. I went in 25 minutes. I'm gonna probably break these down into three different videos so that you can check it out. but always lead with love. Thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I hope I did okay. And you can always check the link in the description box to check out the video, to check out the link, to check out the article. You can always go into the description box to check it out. And thanks for watching. Bye.